Do you think that this, you're saying that they have a good team, and how this team has evolved prior season last season to this upcoming season? Do you think that having that pressure, having that that very very young team, kind of not a lot of experience, and having quite a few rookies in there, for the last 2 seasons, that kind of took an impact on how they performed the last season or even last 2 seasons?
Well, I think, no. And that's the one good thing. I think that they'll be tired of the losing. But the one thing that this team is really striving and really emphasizing is they don't care about last year. They're not last year. New coach and Monty Williams, a full year of all his decisions for James Jones. I don't think they care about last year at all. And so I think that has a lot to do with the mindset of this team. They're basically saying, don't bring up last year to us anymore. Not last year. If you ask James Jones something about 2 years ago, he'll just say, I wasn't here. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to restore the legacy of the Suns. I'm not trying to relitigate what happened the last couple of years. It was the same. What happened last year with Coach I can't speak. Kokoskov? He could care less. That wasn't his team. So this team is coming at you with a really, really good mindset. And I think it's really going to help them, and it's really going to take them a long way in what they want to do, because you got to have that mindset. Remember, Monty Williams signed a 5-year deal, so he's not going anywhere at all.
That's good. They'll have that stability that they haven't had for a while.
Right, and he's going to hold you accountable. He's going to hold you accountable long ways. So I like this team. I like what this team is doing. I like how they're put together. There's nothing about this team that I've seen that I do not like as of right now.
I like what I'm hearing, and I like what I'm seeing, coming into the season. So I am excited. It's a new team, and it's good that they're not looking back to the past and what was staying there, and they're having a new perspective, new focus, and they're looking ahead. So I think that's great, and that's going to help them a lot.
Well, and my point is, what does it do? What does talking about last year do for you, other than piss you off?
Right.
What's the win? And I always say that, and I don't just say that about that. I say that about anything in life. What's the win? What do you win? It's almost like when you start an argument with your significant other just for the sake of arguing. So if you prove you can win the argument, okay, you just proved you can win the argument. But what's the long-term win? What are you really getting? And is it really worth it?
Yeah, what do you really get out of it exactly? Make a good point there.
So I just think that this team is doing it the right way. They're headed in the right direction. They're doing all the things right. And now it's going to take time for it to happen. For those people thinking, they now everyone says they got a great coach and yada, 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 and then they don't make the playoffs, and everyone's going to say, oh, see, I told you, Sam Wilson. No, you're not looking for that. You're looking for a competitive team that can play every night, that some nights are going to beat some big boys that you didn't think they were going to beat. And at the end of the day, they're going to be a really, really good.
Do you see them going to the playoffs, maybe?
No,
this season?
not even close. No, not even close. And I don't even think that should be an expectation. Not even close. That should not be an expectation.
Yeah, it's kind of It's kind of hard. That's not my expectation. But how long do you foresee that happening?
A couple years. They're a couple years away, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not bad. It's not bad to be a couple of years away, because when you look at teams, and this is what I tell everyone all the time. Everyone keeps saying, well, they're going to make the playoffs. For them, to make the playoffs, someone has to fall out of the playoffs. Who's falling out of the playoffs?
Well, right now, nobody really.
Yeah, if you say, okay, Oklahoma slips. If Oklahoma slips, well, the Lakers are already right there. They have LeBron and AD, and that's enough to get you to the playoffs. And so you say, okay, well, maybe San Antonio slips out of the 8th spot and the Lakers slide in. Okay, well, let's say, the Oklahoma City and San Antonio slides up. Well, Sacramento was better than the Suns last year, so they would have to regress. Dallas is an up-and-coming team. So it's not as easy as the Suns are going to win and go in. Someone has to fall out. You got to create a slot. It's not like a company that says, hey, we're going to open up 22 new slots. It's not like that. For one to get in, one has to get out. Yeah. For one to get in, one has to get out. So that's the difference.
I like how you painted that picture. And who in the NBA do you see that is a team that we have to keep our eyes on, and to not lose sight of, and who's going to make the major impact?
Okay, there's two ways of answering that. The team that's going to probably be the team that people be the Clippers. That'll be your team to beat. In terms of making an impact, if you're talking about a team that may come up from somewhere, that's hard to say because I don't think there's really a surprise team. But in the East, I would look for in the East, I'd probably look for Milwaukee to come out. In the West, I think you start with the Clippers and then maybe go to Denver and then maybe the Lakers. It's just too tough. So we'll have to kind of see it, because this is the first season in years that you honestly can say, I don't know who's going to win. Unlike the last few years where you could just say, it's going to be Golden State unless something goes wrong. It's not like that right now.
Yeah, because so many players have now kind of, for the most part, divvied up, or they're not where they used to be. There's been so much movement, especially over the last couple of seasons, and now going into this season, it's like, now they're scattered, and they're like, who do I, where do I go? Who do I look at? What's, do I expect? And you can't really pinpoint it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
So would you say that Milwaukee would be your underdog for the season?
No. Milwaukee, in my opinion, is coming out of the East.
Okay. So who would be your underdog?
I don't think there is one. I don't think there is an underdog. I know that sounds really weird, but I don't think there's an underdog this year. Because basketball, unlike football, where a team can come up out of nowhere, it's not really like that in hoops. Teams don't really come out of nowhere. You usually in basketball see a progression from good to bad. From bad to good. There's not really like Denver was good last year, but the year before they came down to one game away from missing the playoffs. They played the very last regular season game, determined if they were going to go to the playoffs or not. So you see teams build. A team, I guess I'll say, to watch out for, be Atlanta, because Atlanta has a good young nucleus of players. So I would say if there's any team, that's the team you might want to keep your eye on. Do I think they'll get far? No, but you got a guy like Vince Carter who's 42 years old, seen everything, done everything, and they're running out some real talent, and with a John Collins, a young power forward. Then they go out and they draft DeAndre Hunter. They have Alex Lynn that used to play for the Suns, who kind of found himself. They signed a Jabari Parker over the summer, who can flat out, put the ball in the bucket. They went out and they got Evan Turner, who's going to give you nothing great individually, but he's going to give you a lot of little things and mental toughness. They got Trae Young, who was runner-up to Rookie of the Year, who can flat out shoot the ball, who can distribute the ball and keep everyone in games. And then they go out and they draft a Cam Reddish, who, has something to prove because he was supposed to be a star at Duke, and he kind of fell by the wayside, but he's still a good player. So that's a team that I would say, I won't say they'd be a surprise, but that's a team that you want to keep an eye on. Are they going to win an NBA Finals? No. Should they compete for a playoff spot? Heck yeah, they should compete for a playoff spot. But basketball, unlike baseball and football, just different. No one sneaks up on you in a year. You see it coming. So the top teams in the East will be like Milwaukee. They're going to be up there. Philadelphia, they'll be up there. The Celtics, they'll be up there. We'll see what Toronto does now that Kawhi left. Will they be up there? The Pacers will be better once Victor Oladipo comes back. Will Miami be better with Jimmy Butler? They should be. They should possibly be a playoff team. The Nets added Kyrie. They should be up there waiting on Kevin Durant to come around. So it's just going to be interesting. It might be the most fun year of basketball because for the first time in 5 years, it's just completely wide open.
No, yeah, totally. This year actually I'm excited for basketball versus other seasons. Yeah, I followed it, but not as closely and kind of just kept my eyes up to see what's happening and then until the playoffs. But this year I'm actually excited to see it throughout the season and what's going to happen, and with all the changes, that's happened, and, the teams that are out there, really, really excited for that.
Yep.
So,
I know I gave you a longer answer than you were looking for, but sorry about that.
No, you're fine. There's no limit to our answers. So, but no, that helps with the NBA, the season, players, teams, put it all into perspective and what to look forward to in the upcoming season. So right now it's they have the preseason, starting, and then we'll be rolling into the regular season. So very, very excited. And that wraps it up tonight for our show. Thank you very much, PLR, joining me as always. A pleasure.
Always. Love it. I love it, especially when you get me talking about hoops. I could do that forever.
I know. So I know my sports season is ending with baseball here just around the corner and leading into your favorite, which is hoops. So it'll be tables will be turned a little bit, but very, very exciting.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, everybody have a good evening. Thank you very much again for joining us, and until next time, stay tuned.
Go Astros.
Yes, go Astros.